Years ago, I had somebody I was working with who had what's called a joint mouse in one of their hips. A joint mouse is a little flake of cartilage that chipped off for one reason or another. And we get that, so it was managed pretty well. But the guy's lifestyle just kept pumping it back inside the joint. I cleared out and he'd just pump it back in. So I called up an orthopedic surgeon and I said, hey, I got this guy. Here's a history. Here's what's going on. He's got joint mice. Can I send him up to you? You do an arthrogram. That's where they do a simple x-ray with dye in it. And where there's a defect in the dye, it shows where the joint mouse is. Then they do 2/4 inch slits. They put two hoses in it. One's to put in pressurized saline water. Another one is an exit. So you flush it out and it goes into a basket. And you move the hip around, you flush it out, you get the joint mouse in the basket. You don't even have to suture things up. You just
Wow.
pull the
Yeah.
hoses out and people are good. And I said, can I send them up to you, have you do an orthogram and just flush it out? He goes, no, I can't do that. So figure, okay, didn't understand what I said. So I went about it again with clinical findings and case history of what's going on with the guy and said, so can I send him up, get an arthrogram and have you flush it? No, I can't do that. And I'm halfway through explaining this from a different angle. And he goes, hold on a minute. I get it. You're right. I know you're right. But no, I can't do this. And I go, what do you mean you can't do this? It was a standard of care. He says, not anymore. We can only do what we can see on an MRI. And that's for medical legal reasons. If there's any kind of lawsuits, if it doesn't show up
Right.
on an MRI, we can't justify our care. And they go, but wait a minute. The pixel density of the MRI at that time is larger than the joint mouse you're looking for. He goes,
Um,
yes, you're right. I know that. So I ask him, you mean to tell me that you know what's going on with this person? You know how simple it is to resolve it, but the system won't allow you to do that. So you honestly can stick a hand on their shoulder, look at them in the eye and say, you'll have to suffer with that till you can't stand it any longer, and then we'll do a hip replacement. And he said, that's exactly right.
that's disgusting.
That's what the insurance and the system has done.